truth revealed. Since you never lived and scars never healed. In the darkness, light will take you to the other side. Find me waiting there, you'll see if you just close your eyes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. 2015 NASCAR Pure Michigan 400 preview. This is the 93rd race at Michigan International Speedway, which opened in 1969. It's held 2 NASCAR Grand Nationals, Winston Cup / Sprint Cup races since its inception in 1969, except for in 1973 there was only 1 spring race held. Out of the 93 races, there's been 36 different winners. 377 different drivers have started a race in Michigan. All-time records, David Pearson has 9 wins. Kelly Yarborough with 8. Bill Elliott with 7. Mark Martin with 5. Chevrolet has won 34 times, Ford has won 34 times. Chevrolet has won 25 times, and Toyota has won 4 times at Michigan. Former winners include Greg Biffle with 4, the defending champion, Jeff Gordon with 3, Kurt Busch with 3, which he won his 3rd in the spring race. Carl Edwards, Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, Dale Earnhardt all with 2. Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, Joe Logano, Casey Kane, Jimmy Johnson, and Kyle Busch all with 1. Back in the spring race, June 14, 2015, the Quicken Loans 400 was won by Kurt Busch. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was 2nd, then Martin Truex, Matt Kenseth, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Jamie McMurray, Paul Menard, Trevor Bayne, and Clinton Boyer rounding out the top 10. The last 5 races at this track at Michigan, Joe Logano has an average finish of 5.4. He finished 5th in the spring race. Paul Menard has a 6.8 average finish. He finished 8th in the spring race. Kevin Harvick averaged at 7.4 in the last 5 races in Michigan. He ended up finishing, what did Harvick finish at in the spring race? I thought I wrote it down. Looks like he had some trouble, finished down in the field a little bit. Clint Boyer had the Boyer at 10th place. He averaged 7.6 at Michigan. So obviously it seems like some of these drivers who typically run well in Michigan did run well in the spring. This has typically been a Ford track for a lot of times. Team Penske's average 7.82 average finish in the last 2 years at this track with both teams. Richard Childress has averaged 11.4. Stuart Haas has averaged 16. Several Roush drivers have done very well here. As a prediction, I would have to say, I hate to say it, but Joe Logano, Brad Keselowski, one of those kind of guys, one of the 4 guys, maybe a Greg Biffle getting into the chase. I could see a Hendrick Carr, a Dale Earnhardt, or maybe Casey Kane possibly winning here, getting himself locked into the chase. I know there's some drivers that have run well here, like a Ryan Newman averaging a 15th place finish. I know the last 2 years on the 2-mile tracks, which is Michigan and Auto Club Speedway in California, Paul Menard, Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, and Brad Keselowski have all done quite well. So maybe even Paul Menard getting a win here for Richard Childress. So one of the teams that are able to win here. We have 4 races left until the chase cutoff at Richmond. We have Michigan here. We have Bristol, Darlington, and Richmond. Obviously 4 quite different tracks, 4 difficult tracks. Obviously Bristol, we all know what can happen at Bristol. Darlington, Lady in Black, and then Richmond at 3/4 mile. Wannabe super speedway, very fast, less than a mile track. Here we are, like I said, with 4 races left in the chase. We have 11 drivers qualified for the chase. Kyle Busch currently sitting 30th in points. Only 6 ahead at 31st, so technically right now he is in the chase. But obviously he has a bad run at Michigan or Bristol or Darlington. It can drop him outside the top 30. So he's not locked in. He's kind of borderline right now. Obviously him running out of fuel at Pocono, and then finishing second due to the fact of Kevin Harvick running out of fuel at Watkins Glen. 2 fuel mileage races. A lot of people say they hate these fuel mileage races. I actually enjoyed Watkins Glen. I thought overall it was a good race. A lot of top-notch teams afraid of running out of fuel. Kevin Harvick coming, 2 turns short of being able to win it. I know Kyle Busch in the interview that he just backed off. He knew Harvick was probably going to run out. And he was told by his crew chief, you don't want to run it too hard, but yet you don't want to give up get what you can get. So he just kind of backed off, knew he was going to get at least second or third, just kind of ran there. When Harvick ran out, he was able to pass Harvick for second. Harvick was able to coast across the finish line and get third. Last week at Pocono, Logano ran out first, and then Busch ran out. So the 1-2 this week should have been 1-2 last week, but yet so. That was kind of, I'll say, neat to see. I can't stand either driver, but it is what it is. When you root for 3/4 of the field and you can't stand 5 drivers, it is what it is. All right, with 11 drivers right now locked into the chase, that leaves 5 positions. Currently, those are held by Jamie McMurray, who is plus 23 points, Paul McNard, who is plus 10, Jeff Gordon, who's plus 8, Ryan Newman plus 1. And sitting in 16th, we have Clinton Boyer. Obviously, Paul Menard, Ryan Newman, Clinton Boyer have all ran well here. Jeff Gordon has had 3 wins or 4 wins here. Jeff Gordon has won 3 wins at Michigan, defending champion of this race. For whatever reason, it seems like since they changed the aero package back in Charlotte, the Hendrick Motorsports haven't got on top of it like they were. I don't know if they purposely changed the aero package to help the Toyotas on the downforce, take away from the Chevrolet, or if it just happened that way. But Hendrick really hasn't seemed like got on top of it since then. Yeah, I know Dale's won 1 race since then. I think Hendrick Motorsports has won 2 total since Charlotte in the last 12 races. So we'll see what they can come back here at the 2 Mile Michigan International Speedway and do. Drivers on the outside of the chase looking in. Eric Almirola 50 behind the cutoff. Casey Kane 51 behind. Greg Biffle 80 behind. Kyle Larson 95 and Casey Mears 118. Currently there is 4 races left, so the max points you can get the rest of the season is 176. The fewest points you can get would be 4 for the 4 races. That's a difference of 170. So yeah, Sam Morris Jr., Tony Stewart, Ricky Stenhouse, Trevor Bayne, Justin Allgaier, and Cole Witt are mathematically eliminated from making the chase on points, but still obviously can make the chase with wins. Austin Dillon, Danny Kirkpatrick, AJ Allmendinger, and David Reagan mathematically still can make it on points if everyone above them has trouble, but chances of that are really highly unlikely. We have 4 races left. There's 5 chase positions of basically are left to be locked in. We have 11 winners locked in. So legit, we had 4 different winners, 4 new winners in the next 4 races. We'd have 1 position on points, which as of right now would go to Jamie McMurray if he doesn't win. Casey Mears, a long shot, probably regardless of win or on points. Kyle Larson, 95 points behind, would almost have to get a win. Same way with Greg Biffle, Casey Kane, which either one of those drivers could win here at Michigan. Eric Almirola, 50 points out of the chase. Typically doesn't run well at tracks like this. He's averaged at 20. He finished 22nd in the spring. He's averaged at 21.6. So you're looking at maybe a top 20 for him. That's not good enough, I don't think, unless Boyer and Newman and Gordon all have trouble. Even if they do have trouble, top 20 is not going to do it. He needs a top 5, top 10 run, and those guys finish in the 40s to even gain any type of ground. So currently, like I say, Kyle Busch is sitting 30th. I know a lot of Kyle Busch fans out there go on and on about, okay, Kyle would have been in the chase anyway, so it's just natural him being in the chase. Nothing was guaranteed him being in the chase. Like I've said, a million videos, I don't like Kyle Busch. I respect him as a race car driver, but I don't like him as a race car driver, if that makes any sense. He's cocky, he's arrogant, I don't like that. Like I've said in the previous video, the reason I don't like him is he thinks he's just it when he goes to the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series and wins. To me, he's taken wins away from young, hungry drivers. When you're as good as he is and you go to the next level down and you beat up on him, it's really not fair. I know it's been going on for years in NASCAR. The Dale Earnhardts, Mark Martins, all these guys have always done it. Kyle's just cocky. And everybody talks about how great a driver he is. 10 years in Sprint Cup and never won a championship and never finished above 4th. I don't see it. I mean, yeah, he's a good driver. He wins races, but it's either all or nothing with him. My reason, I know NASCAR rules allow, if you're in the top 30 in points, you win a race, you make the chase. They give him a waiver because of the injury, that's fine. I still stand behind what I've said. If either Busch brother wins the title, I will never watch NASCAR again. That would go for any driver who missed that much time and didn't make a chase. I'm a Jeff Gordon fan, Hendrick Motorsports, Rouse Racing, Stuart Haas fan. I want to see Tony do well. I want to see Harvick do well. I like the Hendrick boys. I like the Rouse Racing, some of the little guys, Richard Petty Motorsports. I like those teams like that. Joe Gibbs. I like Matt Kenseth. I like Carl Edwards. I just don't like Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch. I don't like Kurt Busch. Danica's alright, But, so, do I want to see anybody get screwed? No. Kyle's not getting screwed if he doesn't make the chase this year. He probably won't make the chase. He's won 4 races. He's had a really great car, quite a few races here. It looks like he'll make the chase. Fine and dandy. If Kyle would do the pace he's done so far this year, the 11 races Kyle's been in, he scored 361 points. You take the 361 points he has scored, divided by 11, multiply it out over 22 races, he would have 722 points. He would currently be 5th in the overall points. He would be 2nd behind Jimmy Johnson in wins, tied with 4. So he would definitely be well in the chase, well on his way to clinching the spot in the chase. But I think what NASCAR has done, controversy creates cash. By giving Kyle Busch this waiver, they've gotten people on Facebook to talk, people on YouTube, people on all types of social media to go out and say, either we love Kyle Busch or we hate Kyle Busch. Recently on Sunday during the race, one of the articles I put on there, anybody who took out Kyle Busch, I would be a fan of and do a profile video about. And I had 24 people like that comment, and some other people comment on there that they're Kyle Busch fans and they didn't appreciate that basically. And I've gotten into several conversations about Kyle Busch on Facebook. That's the one beauty with NASCAR. There's 43 drivers every Sunday that fire up. You can be a fan of any of those 43. Like them, hate them, whatever it is, you can choose who you're a fan of, who you root for, who you root against. That's the beauty of NASCAR. You can get fans talking. So all you NASCAR fans out there that watch this video, I want you to comment below on who your favorite driver is. If it's 4, 5, 6, 7, comment. If it's just one, comment. I want to hear who your all-time favorite driver is and who your current favorite driver is. If I had to pick one for me all-time, it would be the 1992 Winston Cup champion, Alan Kulwicki. As a fan of NASCAR since the mid to late 80s, I always wanted to be a NASCAR car owner. I wanted to be a driver. Things never worked out for me to get to that point in life. I can dream though. I always wanted to be a car owner like Alan Kulwicki. I wanted to do it my way. I wanted to own my own team. I wanted to do it my way. Jeff Gordon, currently, I watched him since his very first race in 1992, Atlanta Journal 500, where Alan Kulwicki won his title against Bill Elliott and Junior Johnson and Associates Racing, who Alan Kulwicki turned down a ride for. And I watched Jeff Gordon make his NASCAR Winston Cup debut, the last race for the King, Richard Petty. And watching the entire career of Jeff Gordon now has been rather amazing. I realize how long I've been watching this sport to follow these guys who, I've seen drivers come and go, some of the littler guys, but to watch a career, the 92 victories and 4 championships and all this that Jeff Gordon's accomplished and being a fan of his the entire time, Going forward, my new favorite driver obviously is Casey Elliott. Not Casey Elliott, excuse me. Chase Elliott. The son of NASCAR champion Bill Elliott, who's going to take over the 24 car next year. I like Trevor Bayne. I like a lot of the young guys. Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski. To me, they're cocky, ignorant, so I don't like them. If you guys are a fan of them, more power to you. Root for them. I hope, for your guys' sake, your driver wins the championship this year. So, that will wrap up the 2015 NASCAR Pure Michigan 400 preview. Enjoy the race on Sunday, and please comment below. I want to know who your favorite drivers are. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show, and have a spiffy night. Robert Sports Show, the YouTube leader in sports channels. And make sure you stay tuned to Robert Sports Show number 4 for the NFL Week 1 preview in a few weeks, and Robert Sports Show 5 for the NCAA football Week 1 preview. And stay tuned to both channels all football season long for previews each and every week. Thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and have a spiffy night.